Friends, my channel name is Indian Epic History. Search this channel name on YouTube, then select playlist option for all my videos like Ramayana, Mahabharat, Puran. This is Bori critical Mahabharat book, Bhagwad Gita, chapter 2. In previous videos, we talked about chapter 1. Sanjay said, seeing him thus overcome with pity, his eyes filled with tears and struck thus with grief, Madhusudana spoke the following words. Press red subscribe option and press the bell icon for my latest video updates. Madhusudana said, the Lord said, O Arjuna, from where, when we have this emergency, has this kind of weaknesses overcome you? This does not lead to heaven or fame, and characterizes those who are not Aryas. O Partha, give up this weakness. This is not deserving of you. O one who scorches the foes, give up this pity weakness of heart. Arjuna said, O Madhusudana, how will I use arrows to fight in this war against Bhishma and Drona? O slayer of enemies, they are deserving of worship in this world. It is better to beg for alms than to kill one's respected preceptors. If I kill my elders, the wealth of other objects of desire that I enjoy will be drenched in their blood. I don't know which is better for us. They defeat us or we defeat them. The sons of Dhritarashtra are in front of me. Those are the people we don't want to kill in order to live. My normal nature has been overtaken by a sense of helplessness, confused about what is dharma. I am asking you, tell me that which is decidedly best for me. I am your disciple. I have sought refuge in you. Instruct me. This grief is exploiting my senses, and I don't see what will remedy that. Even if I win lordship over the gods, or this earth without any enemies and prosperous. Sanjay said, having said this to Harikesha, Gudakesha, the scorcher of foes, told Govinda, I will not fight, and fell silent. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, to the person who was immersed in grief between the two armies, as if with a smile, Harikesha spoke the following words. The Lord said, you speak as if we are wise, but you speak as if you are wise, but you are grieving over those that one should not sorrow over. The wise don't sorrow over those who are dead or those who are alive. This is not the case that I or you or these kings did not exist before this, nor it is the case that we won't exist in the future. All of us will be there. The soul passes through childhood, youth, and age in this body and likewise attains another body. The wise don't get bewildered by this, O Kanteya, because of contact between senses and objects, feelings of warmth and cold, pleasure and pain result. But these are temporary and are created and disappeared. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, therefore, tolerate this, O best among men. The wise person who is not affected by these and who looks upon happiness and unhappiness equally attains the right to immortality. That which is untrue doesn't have an existence, that which is true has no destruction. But those who know the truth realize the ends of both these, but know that which pervades all of this is never destroyed. No one who can destroy that which is without change. It has been said that all these bodies inhabited by the soul are capable of destruction. But the soul is eternal, incapable of destruction and incapable of being established through proof. Therefore, descendant of the Bharata lineage fight. He who knows this as a slayer and he who thinks of this as something that is slain, both of them do not know. This is not a slayer, nor can it be slain. This is never born, nor does it ever die. This does not come into existence because it has been born. This has no birth, it is eternal and without destruction. It has no end. When the body is killed, this is not killed. Soul is not killed. O Partha, he who knows this to be without destruction, eternal, without birth, and incapable of change, how can that person cause anyone to be slain? Or how can he slay anyone? Like a person discards worn out clothes and accepts other that are new, like that the soul discards worn out bodies and attains others that are new. Weapons cannot cut these, fire cannot burn these, nor can water wet these, and the wine cannot dry these. This cannot be cut, this cannot be burned, this cannot be wetted, and this cannot be dried. This is eternal and is everywhere. This is stable and does not move. This has no beginning. It has been said that this has no manifestation, that is cannot be through of end, that this has no transformation. Therefore, knowing this to be like that, you should not grieve, O mighty armed warrior. But if you think this to be subject to continual birth and continual death, even then you should not grieve for this, because death is inevitable for anyone who is born, and birth is inevitable for anyone who is dead. Therefore, because this is inevitable, you should not grieve. O descendant of the birth lineage, being are not manifest in the beginning, they are manifest in the middle and are not manifest again after that. What is there to sorrow over? Some people see this as a wonder, like that some others speak of this as a wonder, and some others hear of this as a wonder. But having heard, they are unable to understand this. O descendant of the birth lineage, in everyone's body the Atma is indestructible, means soul. Therefore, you should not mourn about any being. Also, considering your natural dharma, you should not waver, because there is nothing better for a Kshatriya than a war fought for the sake of dharma. O Partha, this war has arrived on its own like an open door to heaven. Happy are the Kshatriyas who obtain a war like this, but if you do not take a part in this war in the cause of dharma, then you will forsake your natural dharma and fame, and sin will accrue to you, and all people will forever talk about your ill fame. For someone who is honored, dishonor is worse than death. These great warriors will think that you have withdrawn from the war because of your fear, and those who have so far respected you will lighten their opinion of you. Your enemies will say many things that should not be said and will criticize your prowess. Is anything more painful than that? If you are slain, you will attain heaven. If you win, you will enjoy the earth. O Kaunteya, therefore arise, deciding certainly to fight. Therefore get ready to fight, looking upon happiness and unhappiness, gain and loss, and victory and defeat equally. And sin will not touch you. O Partha, you have just been told the wisdom that comes from knowledge of the self. This is the best psychological thoughts said by Krishna. Amazing. Not now listen to the knowledge about yoga. When united with this knowledge, you will be able to discard the bonds of action. In this, The possibility of effort coming to waste does not exist, nor is there the chance of committing a sin. Even a title bit of this dharma protects from great fear or descent of the Kuru lineage. This certain knowledge is unwavering, but for those who cannot focus, their wisdom is many branched and like the infinite. O Partha, those who are ignorant say these flowery words, praising the Vedas and claiming there in nothing else. They are addicted to desire, think of heaven as the supreme objective, and are enamored of the fruits of birth and action. They are praise many rites and rituals that lead to pleasure and wealth. They are addicted to pleasure and wealth, and because of those words, their minds are deluded. They cannot focus on one object, the intellect that allows one to discriminate. The Vedas deal with the three gunas. O Arjuna, rise above the three gunas without doubt. Always resort to sattva. Do not be bothered about that which is yet to be attained or preserving what has already been attained. Realize the Atma, the soul. Whatever purpose is achieved by many small bodies of water is also achieved by one large body of water. Like that, whatever all the Vedas achieved is achieved by a person who knows the Brahma. You have the right to action alone. You never have the right to this fruit. Do not be motivated to act because of the fruit, but don't be motivated to not acting either. Or Dhananjaya, perform action by restoring to yoga, give up attachment, look upon success and failure equally. This equal attitude is known as yoga. O Dhananjaya, action is far inferior to the yoga of wisdom. Seek refuge in this wisdom. Pitiable are those who crave after the fruit. He who has this wisdom discards good action and evil action in this life itself. Therefore, use yoga in what you do. Yoga is the skill of action. The learned who have this wisdom abandon the fruit of action and are freed from the feathers of birth. They certainly attain that place which is bereft of all blemishes. When your intellect transcends this maze of delusion, then you will attain indifference between that which has already been heard and that which is yet to be heard. Your mind is distracted at what you have heard, but when your intellect is unwavering and focused on samadhi, then you will attain yoga. O Arjuna asked, O Kesava, what are the signs of a person who has attained samadhi and whose intellect doesn't waver? How does he speak? How does he sit? And how does he walk? O Lord, the Lord said, O Partha, a person is said to be unwavering in intellect when he blemishes all desires from his mind. He is content within his own Atma, means soul. He is not disturbed by unhappiness and he is beyond desiring unhappiness. He has overcome attachment, fear, and anger, and he is known as a sage who is unwavering in his intellect. In everything, he has no emotion, regardless of whether something pleasant or something unpleasant has been attained. He is not pleased nor is he dissatisfied, and in him wisdom is established. Like a tortoise withdraws its limbs, such a person withdraws his senses in every way from sensual objects. In him is wisdom established. Sensual objects are withdrawn from the body of a person who is starving himself, but not desire. In him who has seen the Paramatma, means God, even desire is restrained. O Kanteya, even if a learned man takes care, the turbulent senses violently steal his mind. He who is devoted to me controls all those and focuses his mind on me. If a person can so control his senses, in him is wisdom established. If a man thinks about sensual objects, this gives birth to attachment about those. From attachment is created desire, and desires gives birth to anger. Anger gives birth to delusion, and delusion leads to confusion of memory. From confusion of memory comes losses of intellect, and losses of intellect results in destruction. But he who has controlled his mind in freed from attachment and hatred, having used himself to control his senses, he used this to enjoy objects and satisfy himself. When there is such a serenity in him, in eliminated all unhappiness, because in the mind of someone at peace, wisdom is quickly established. He who has no control has no intellect. He who has no control has no thought. Without thought, there is no peace. How can there be happiness for someone who has no peace? The mind rocks a boat on the water. Like that, the mind flows a sense devoted to objects, and even a single sense robs him of wisdom. O mighty armed one, therefore, he whose senses have been withdrawn from objects in every way, in him has wisdom been steadily established. When it is night to ordinary beings, the controlled person is awake then. When ordinary beings are awake, the sage perceives that as night. Just as the waters uh, enters enter an ocean and leave the full ocean undisturbed, like that all sensual objects enter that person but leave him at peace, unlike those attached to desire. A man who gives up all desire and exists without longing, without ego, and without a sense of ownership, he attains peace. O Partha, this is the state of being established in the Brahma. If one attains this, one is not deluded. Even at the end, established in this state, one attains union with the Brahma. Not Brahman, is Brahma. Next chapter 3.